Hello everyone. So in this video, we are going to take a look at creating a drunk player effect. Now I figured out one of the ways to create such an effect is to distort the UVs of the rendered output by Unity in a post-process shader. So in the previous videos, we have discussed about how to create a post-process effect in detail. In this video, I'm just quickly going to go into the logic. So for the effect to be applied, you need a camera. And on the camera game object, I have applied a wave script. This wave script is basically the image effect script which takes in a shader. So let's go into the code. All right, so here we have the script and here we have the shader. The shader is very simple and straightforward. The only things that we have changed is added a couple of parameters and modified the fragment shader or the fragment function. In the script, we are passing various variables that the user can modify, as well as some variables that we require for the shader to create that effect. So the role of the script is to provide us with the source texture, which is the Unity's rendered output, in which we are going to use a function called graphics.blit, and we're going to basically modify the source image by the material which consists of the shader right here, and this outputs the destination, which is the final output rendered image that you see on the screen. Okay, so let's go to the shader where all the logic is applied. So to create a wave pattern, I'm using a sine wave function. So the sine function is a part of the CG library and it is very straightforward to use. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to basically take the V parameter and the U parameter, multiply it by various wave scales, add the time to it. All right. Now these three parameters are being again taken from the script. The time parameter is just the delta time multiplied by the speed provided by the user, and this is getting updated every image render. Similarly, the wave x and y are nothing but just a vector 2, which are again provided by the user just for the scaling of the sine wave. So to take a look at a sine wave, we just return the sine wave parameter, and this is how the sine wave looks. So if you change these parameters, you will get the sine wave across y and x axes. All right, so now that we are able to scale the sine wave and draw it on the computer, all we need to do is we need to distort the UVs. Distortion of the UVs or displacement of the UVs is very simple. We are just going to take the UV parameter which is given by Unity to us. We are going to add the sine wave that we had just created to it. And just to give some more functionality, we are going to scale the whole part as well. So we scale the sine wave and add it to the UVX and UVY. This is provided as a float too. So if you want to check how the UVs finally appear, it's like this. So now what we're going to see on the screen is the UV space. Now, if I increase the scale here, this is how the UV is going to look like. And similarly, if I change the scaling of the wave, this is how it is going to look like. So we have quite a lot of additional control over this right now. All right. Now the final part is to take the source texture and map it onto the screen as per the new UV set. So the source texture here in the shader is a sampler 2D, which is the main text, which is provided by the source, which is the rendered texture by Unity. We apply all the calculations here, and then we output a color in the fragment shader as per the new UV set. So once this is done, I go ahead and save the shader first, which is very important, and hit the play button. So we see that here we are able to modify the parameters. I can modify the speed also. So see, this is how the wave looks. I can also make it move in one direction. So let's say I hit extend on the Y1. I hope you like the video and please let me know if you do have any questions. Thank you so much for watching.